Hi, welcome to my video on extra problems on relations among trig functions. So I've decided to do a video just to do extra practice. Extra practice doesn't hurt anybody. The more you do, the better you get. Which one is different? And we got to find the answers to each of these to find out which one is different. So another name for 1 minus sine squared is cos squared. And sine squared of 90 minus theta, because you do a 90 minus theta, that means that the sine changes cofunctions. So this is the same as cos squared of theta. And cos divided by secant, well, cos is okay. Secant is 1 over cos, reciprocal of cos. So that's cos theta. We're dividing. So there's the division. So we multiply by the reciprocal, which is cos theta over 1. And multiply, we get cos squared theta. So this is cos squared, this is cos squared, this is cos squared. So let's see. They're all the same. So which one is different? Let's see. Tan squared is sine squared over cos squared theta. And we have cos theta understood to be a multiplication between. Because we're multiplying, we can cancel. And we get sine squared theta. So which one is different? D is the one that's different here. Number 2, which one or ones is or are not true? I worded this question said, so which one is true, which one is false? So you got to go through and say which one is or are not true. In other words, we're looking for the false ones. So let's do A. The tan of negative theta is the negative tan of theta. So let's see on a circle. Again, we got a circle. And this is theta here. And this is negative theta here. So perpendicular. So the tan here is positive. The tan here is negative. Because if you add sugar to coffee, tan is positive in 1 and 3, negative in 2 and 4. So this is positive here, negative here. So this is true. Okay. Now what about the tan of 90 minus theta is equal to the cot of theta? Is that true or false? So when you go through 90 minus theta, you change cofunctions. Tan is cot. So this one is true. Now, what about 1 plus secant squared is tan squared? Well, I know that 1 plus tan squared is secant squared. So, I got a 1 minus secant. So if I take the 1 and subtract secant here, so secant moves over here to become a minus, that means tan moves over here to become a negative, minus also. So 1 minus secant is negative tan. So this is false. That should have been a negative tan squared. And what about D? The tan of 180 minus theta is equal to tan theta. So again, let's look at theta, which is right here. And go all the way around. 180 minus theta is right here. So there's the terminal arm. There's the terminal arm. And they both have the same reference angle. Make that theta there. So they both have the same reference angle, so there's no change in 180. But tan is positive in 1, and tan is negative in 2. So that's equal to negative tan theta. theta there. So that's again false. There should be a negative tan theta. And this should have been a negative tan here also. So these two are true and these two are false. So C and D are the ones that are not true. Let's continue. We have some more examples. Simplify. Okay, we have a division. So what's another name for the cos of 90 minus theta? When you go through 90 minus theta, it's cofunctions. So that's the same as the sine of theta. When you go through 180, there's no change. So 180 plus. So what's a sine in the first quadrant? So we add sugar to coffee. In the first quadrant, sine is positive, and in the 180, theta plus 180 is the third quadrant, and sine is negative here, so that's negative theta. Sine is positive in 1 and 2, negative in 3 and 4. And so the signs cancel out, so that gives us negative 1. Number 4, the secant of 90 minus theta times the cos of negative theta. Secant of 90 minus theta, that's changes. So this is cosecant of theta. Remember, in this one, theta is first quadrant, 90 minus theta is also first quadrant, everything is positive. But they're cofunctions. When you do a 90, you change. When you do 180 plus or minus, they don't change. The function stays the same. And what about the cos of negative theta? Well, we've got a circle, and that's theta right there. And this is negative theta right here. And so the cos of this rotation, the reference angles are the same in each. So the cos here is positive, the cos here is positive. So that's the same as the cos of theta. And cosecant is reciprocal of, that's a C, so I secant of sine. And when you multiply this over 1, so you get cos theta over sine. And cos over sine is cot. So it's simplified. And we have number 5. I just put this one in here as a little bit extra, a little bit of work, and look at it closely. Notice, first thing, cot squared of pi over 2 minus 90. And we got a, right here, we got a pi minus theta. So pi over 2 is 180 divided by 2, so that's the same as a 90. And pi is 180, so I just put the thetas. So you can have radians in here or degree measures. It's the same. It's the same. But when you go through, let's work it out. Now let's simplify each of these first, and then we'll work out BEDMAS or PEMDAS. So let's do. So the cot squared of 90 minus theta, 90 minus theta, or pi over 2 minus theta, we change. So this becomes the tan squared of theta minus the sine of negative theta. The sine of theta is positive. The sine of negative theta is negative. So that's negative sine theta, and I'm putting that in brackets to distinguish this subtraction here. Division, and we got 180 minus theta, so the sign don't change, it stays the same, and the sine of theta is positive because it's in the first quadrant. 180 minus theta is second quadrant, so it's positive. Sine is sine is positive in 1 and 2. So theta is in quadrant 1. 180 minus theta is quadrant 2, so it's a plus sign right there. So let's simplify. We have a double negative here. We can do division first. So we have, let's see, we have to do the division first. So we divide. So that's negative. So a negative theta, a negative sine theta divided by sine theta is this a negative 1. PEMDAS. We have to do PEMDAS or PEMDAS, PEMDAS. We have brackets. We have exponents. No, we got to do multiplication, division. We got to do division before we do multiplication. We did it. Now we got to do the subtraction. So the tan squared theta, negative of a negative is positive, and we have tan squared plus 1 plus tan squared. Well, we memorized that. That's secant squared. Again, tan is sine over cosine. Because cosine is on the bottom, is reciprocal. Reciprocal of cos is secant. So tan squared plus 1 or 1 plus tan squared is secant squared. And we could also, if you wanted to, or you could have 1 over sine squared. 1 over cos squared. That's another name. And again, cos squared could have other names. We could have 1 over 1 minus sine squared. Or we could have 1 over 1 plus sine, 1 minus sine theta. So there's many names. And you'd say, how do I know, do I stop here, here, here? Well, any one of these would be true. But when you're doing identities, you'll know which one of these is going to be true, which one of these you can use. But right now you can have that, secant squared theta, 1 over cos squared. Cos squared is 1 minus sine squared, and 1 minus sine squared is factored. So any one of these 4 would be true here for this problem. And that brings us to the end of this video. And if you like my video, click the like button, click the subscribe button. If you wish, visit my math website, www.mathfullyexplained.com, to find more information about me, my videos, and the content. That's the content on my YouTube channel called Math Fully Explained, one word. Thank you for viewing my video. Hope the video was of some help to you. Bye-bye.